Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of Kick Pass Punch. I am Brian.
I am Malcolm.
I'm his dad. And we're here to talk about the worlds of professional football, the MLS, and soccer generally, and professional wrestling. Though mostly just WWE, not the world at large.
I don't watch the world at large.
That's true. So Malcolm, where would you like to start today?
I believe we should start in the MLS.
Okay.
From this weekend, because we haven't done an episode in a long time.
Big news from the weekend carrying over into today. Chicago Fire win their second road game in a row for the first time in your sister's life. How old was your sister, Malcolm?
12. Recently.
For the first time in her life, Chicago Fire won 2 road games in a row. What are your thoughts on Chicago Fire after week 4?
That's embarrassing for them.
Yes. For those other people.
Yeah.
Not for these people.
Not for these people, but the people that lost 2 road games in a row all those times.
Yes.
Or were not able to win 2 in a row all those times.
Yes.
It seems as though they're on a somewhat of a good stint. They seem to be doing alright. I wouldn't say great, but alright. That second goal was very weird.
It's very Greg Berhalter, though.
Yeah. Well, it bounced around a bunch.
Yeah.
Super bounced around at the back post.
Yeah. And then, I mean, honestly, though, could have been 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
I think Sean Johnson put together his Emmy tape, trying to win the award for Best Actor for the little stunt he pulled.
Oh, about the handball?
It wasn't a handball. He was saying he hooked it.
Oh.
He was saying, and they go to VAR. I don't know what the ref saw. What I do know is the guys calling the game were like, I still don't see it. Even after it had been called. Like, even after the VAR had looked at it, and the ref had never looked at it and decided to disallow the goal, they were still like, I don't know what the call is for. And then Hugo just put the one wide. It happens. It's not great. And I'm certainly not going to fault Hugo at this point. 4 goals in 4 games. Could have been 6.
Still,
but
probably best striker performance that we've had since
Nico.
Yeah. Nico.
And more importantly, that leads to Brian Gutierrez getting called up because apparently to replace Winston McKennie on the U.S. national team for the semifinals of the CONCACAF Champions League on Thursday, 2 days from now.
CONCACAF Champions League? That's the...
Not CONCACAF, the Nations Cup.
Nations League.
Whatever it is.
We've got a few U.S. Open Cups currently games going on.
So that's exciting. It's always good to see Goody getting out there. There was the anonymous general manager poll that I was looking at on where people predict things that are going to happen this year, and Brian Gutierrez was second on the list of players most likely to be sold to Europe this year.
Who was first? Your Brady?
No, nobody from Fire.
Oh,
no,
I thought
league
you meant
wide.
From the Fire.
No, league wide.
League wide? Oh, wow.
Yeah, league wide. Last Fire, I mean, they're running into the buzzsaw of Vancouver this week, the only undefeated team left in the league. I'm not looking forward to watching that. I think, but I hope they accord themselves well. It's a third road game in a row. I hope they do well. I hope they if they can keep it
4-0.
if they can keep it to a 1-2 goal differential. I mean, Vancouver's doing amazing. They're running the Champions League and they're managing to win, which all the other teams that are load managing for the Champions League are not. So
Galaxy, for example, getting only their first point this weekend.
But your thoughts on Zach Steffen setting an MLS record with 12 saves on the weekend?
What team's he playing for? I have no idea. I didn't even realize he was
back in MLS.
I didn't realize he was still not at City.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure was a while ago.
Yeah, he went to Columbus, or he was at Columbus. He went over to City. He's back in MLS. I'm not even sure where he is. I just saw that he had set the MLS record for saves in a game. So there's a goal to aspire to, young man. Get to MLS, beat Zach Steffen. I don't have a lot more to say about MLS. How about you?
I don't think so. I mean, LA Galaxy is still winless through 4 games now. Only on 1 point total for the Galaxy.
Not great.
Mm-hmm. Both my picks for the didn't make a playoffs team, still not doing well. Seattle taking a loss, and Portland drawing with Galaxy.
Philadelphia did take a loss.
Philadelphia took a loss 3-1 to Nashville.
Putting Miami up on top of the East by a point.
Yeah.
But I still like Philadelphia. I think the MLS pregame show on Saturday night. Bradley Wright Phillips asks the question: Miami has been playing so well in the absence of Lionel Messi. Does Messi and what he brings to the team disrupt what they're doing? Which begs the question, was Bradley Wright Phillips drunk?
No.
We are not close to a world in which adding Messi is a negative, right? I mean, we can all agree with that, right? Is there a world in which is there a team in the world you could think of right now that you would put Messi on it would make them worse?
2025 Inter Miami. They're doing better without him.
He walked on. He walked on and scored in that Champions League game the other night. He scored on the weekend. Like they're not losing with him.
Yeah, but they're trying. Their one tie came with him. That's. Right. I mean, I don't know. I'm just grasping for.
Looking for a hot take.
Yeah.
Looking for a hot take.
Grasping for.
All right.
Views.
Moving on to the NFL. Obviously, the free agent market has cooled a bit since we were here a week ago. Everything was popping at the time. Oh, this is not technically fit within the kick, punch, pass world, but kick, pass, punch. But Major League Baseball opened its season today at 5 a.m. Central Standard Time in Tokyo, Japan, with the Cubs playing the Dodgers.
That's terrible.
Cubs lost 4-1. They were up 1-0. Shota Umanja pitched really well through the first 4, and they pulled him after 4 innings. And then last name Brown with a weird blonde mullet came in to pitch for the Cubs, and it all kind of fell apart. for one inning, but Shohei did what Shohei does, and they had one good inning, and that was the difference, right? So Cubs are 0-1 on the season. No one else is playing baseball yet, except the Cubs and Dodgers. They play these two games today and tomorrow, and then they go back and play more spring training games, and then the season actually starts in like 2 weeks. But for some reason, they feel like they need to make these overseas games actually count. How does that make you feel?
I mean, I feel like they should do them later in the year because then it makes sense for them to count, because it doesn't make sense that the Cubs and Dodgers are starting their season but nobody else is.
Yeah. Everyone else is still playing spring training games, and the Dodgers are coming back and playing more spring training games after this.
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense.
Or just go do an exhibition. It's fine.
Exactly.
It's fine.
Yes.
Send them over there to do an exhibition. Do a tour.
I'm sure Japan would not mind.
Do a tour. Do Tokyo. Do Okinawa. Do a whole. Send them around the country like the EPL teams do when they come to the U.S. in preseason.
Yeah.
Just tour around and play each other. It's fine.
Okay. Going back to the world of the NFL.
Yes.
Cameron Hayward has said, has tweeted out, "I just want to play football. I'm tired of talking about the quarterback situation. I'd rather have it done. I don't know what ends up happening. I'm ready to move on into free agency. There's too much going on." Signifies Aaron Rodgers?
This is about Aaron Rodgers. 100% this is about Aaron Rodgers.
He's trying to finish the Brett Favre career mode.
I mean, that's just him saying
He's waiting for Minnesota. That's who Rodgers is waiting on.
You can understand players in Pittsburgh being like, we need a quarterback.
Just come play with us. We have made the playoffs for 15 years straight.
Doesn't matter. Like, I don't think he's saying he wants Aaron Rodgers. I think he's saying the Steelers should stop waiting for Aaron Rodgers to decide. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is now ruining teams he's not even on. God. I dislike this person so much. So much. In much better, more compelling NFL news, the Cincinnati Bengals have given roughly 90% of their salary cap to the quarterback and 2 wide receivers. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I'm not... Defense. Defense wins championships. What are we doing?
I mean...
Their defense isn't bad, but like...
If I was in Cincinnati and you told me that you just guarantee that I'd have...
I mean, I guess Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, so...
Jamar Chase and
T.
Higgins and Joe Burrow for the next 4 years guaranteed.
Oh, they get all 4 of them guaranteed for 4 years?
Yeah. I'd be pretty excited about that. I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I mean, I think the 3 of them, those 4-year contracts for the 3 of them are, I think, over $1 billion.
Oh, wow.
Or if not, awfully close to it.
Cincinnati is... I mean, those 3 are amazing, but...
Right.
But their defense is okay, but it needs work.
Agreed.
It could use a trade up to get Abdul Carter or Will Johnson or somebody on the defense.
Right. So, I mean, maybe they can do something in the draft on defense. They focus that way. Maybe they, I think that's what they have to do at this point, is focus on defense in the draft. I think they have to.
Mm-hmm.
And hope they can find some impact players on really cheap rookie contracts.
Yeah.
For the same amount of time.
Mm-hmm. Or, they could trade up and get Ashton Genty and then finish the skill positions tree.
Well, they could. They could. Again, though,
Shouldn't.
he'd
but
be on
they
a cheap contract.
Fair enough.
Um,
But what would they have to trade the Bears to get up to 10?
I see.
Jamar Chase. Give us Jamar Chase.
I'm feeling more and more like I don't think he's gonna fall that far. Like the chatter is still is just getting louder and louder.
I don't know.
He is now my prediction for the player who goes to the Raiders.
Why? They have... Who's their running back?
Exactly. That's the point.
They traded away Josh Jacobs last year.
Yeah.
The Raiders have a really good running back, very friendly playbook.
Yeah.
So I think he'd strive in that
And
area.
Fourth worst yards per carry last year in the league. So running back is a position of need for them, or maybe offensive line, but something to improve that running game is necessary.
Okay. So moving on to the world of mostly the WWE.
Yes.
Pretty much that's it.
Yeah.
The Street Profits. I think we should start with.
Street Profits. For the first time in 4 years, are tag team champions. What are your thoughts?
I didn't realize this until Sunday, that it had been that long since they. I thought they won it after they won them after WrestleMania 39 when they won the chance to fight for them. I thought they won them then. I didn't realize that they hadn't. I don't know why I didn't realize that, but first time since I've been watching that
they've actually been
champions.
So
I started watching just like in the middle of the year between 38 and 39.
Right. So the question is, the story they're clearly telling is that specifically the SmackDown Tag Team Champions is in chaos. There's so many good teams.
But the Street Profits are the best of them. I think that is clearly what's been happening. Is the Street Profits have come in and just beaten the crap out of everybody. Most of the time, they just come in and beat everybody up.
All right. So my question to you is, 4 weeks to go. I believe WrestleMania is less than a month away now.
The 19th and the 20th. So a month and a day until that month.
Are the Street Profits champions walking into WrestleMania?
This should not be a question, because it's so weird that the tag team championships are changing hands this much, like especially over on SmackDown, because at the beginning of the year they were not switching at all. Like after WrestleMania 40, the first time they defended them was I don't even know. I think pretty sure the Awesome Truth never won a match as champions, and they held those titles for like 4 months. They never won a match as champions. I mean, they won a match, but they never defended them successfully.
Right, but now we have Profits resurgent. We have DIY. We have Motor City Machine Guns. Right? We have pick 2 of the 3 of the new bloodline to put in there.
It can't be Jacob Fatu because he's got to face Braun Strowman. WrestleMania.
Probably. Oh, God, I wish there was a way to figure out how to do Jacob and Braun Breaker. Like, that's the match I want.
Oh my God. We're getting Braun Breaker versus Penta also.
We are getting Braun Breaker versus Penta.
That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
That is going to be a outstanding match.
I agree. Side note. Rey Fenix apparently going to SmackDown. not putting Penta and Ray Phoenix on the same show. What are your thoughts?
Good. It's good.
Why?
Because shoot Penta to the moon. I love it. Penta is amazing. Let him be a solo guy. Let him, or at least for a little bit, let him run out on his own. Give him the world title.
Wow. Wow, we're going all the way, huh?
Yes. Nobody will ever kick out of the Penta driver.
Penta beats Cody. Or does Penta beat Cena?
He beats Gunther. Jay loses at WrestleMania, and Gunther loses to Penta at Backlash. Yes.
Sorry, they had Cody and Cena on Raw last night. I forgot that they're not actually supposed to be on that show.
Neither of them are supposed to be there. Well, Gunther also was not supposed to be on SmackDown beating up Axiom. So.
Yeah.
That,
by the way, was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I understand, hometown boy, you bring him in and whatnot, but man, oh man.
What a match.
You forget sometimes because of what they're doing with him, just how good Gunther is in the ring. He is just phenomenal talent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he still has to lose, right?
He still has to lose to Jay. Yeah.
Because Cena's gonna win.
No.
You can't have the heel win both those matches.
Cena? Were you convinced by last night that Cena's gonna win? Because I remember you thought very severely that Cena was not gonna win because you thought he was gonna cheat to win 17, and that's unacceptable.
I thought that he would stay as a face and lose. I thought he would. I think I predicted he would win the Chamber, and then lose at WrestleMania, and then spend the summer building his credibility.
I'm pretty sure last episode you said, because last episode was, obviously after the Chamber. We've had multiple episodes after the Chamber. I believe you did say,
yeah.
Now that he's a heel, if he wins 17, he will cheat, and I don't think they're gonna give him 17. It's Ric Flair.
I mean,
Cody's Avengers strike again.
There is something to be said.
The Cody Rhodes Avengers.
For them, I think John Cena not to win the 17th championship cheating. Like, I don't like it.
If John Cena wins the 17th championship cheating, he needs to win 18.
But here's the thing.
We can't give him the record cheating.
I'm not.
Didn't Ric Flair win the record cheating though?
I'm not. Well, yeah, but Ric Flair won all of his championships cheating.
That's like saying Ric Flair's the equivalent of Logan Paul.
Ric Flair was the equivalent of Logan Paul.
God, please do not give Logan Paul 16 world championships. Nope.
I think
anything but that.
After Harley Race and Ric Flair at Starrcade '83, a Flair for the gold. When he wins the championship in the cage, it might be the last time Flair ever won a clean world championship.
Was that the first time?
I'm not. I think it was his first time with the world title. I think the belts get so muddled in my head from back then because they were so much smaller. I know he held a belt before that. I think it was the U.S. title, but I can't swear that that's true. But I do think that him beating Harley Race was the first time. So generally, just what are your thoughts on the Cena promo from last night?
It was a wild switch. You just went from with the Harley Race, and what are your thoughts on?
Well,
I mean, Cody calling John Cena. Cody's cursing.
Cody's cursing. It's two in a row. I think he might be at his limit for a short time.
Two cursings in a row.
Yeah.
Do you remember Raw on the road to WrestleMania 40 last year that we were at?
Yes, but it was Raw.
I got
not
you here,
Cody.
boy. Well, this was Raw.
No. I'm not saying Raw can't have it. I'm saying Cody can't have it.
What?
Cody has reached his cursing limit.
Oh, okay.
He's dropped
That's
an
weird,
F-bomb and a B-bomb in consecutive appearances, essentially.
No, not
Not
consecutive.
consecutive appearances, but you know what I mean. In a very short amount of time, I think he needs to bag it down a little bit.
F-bomb,
So
B-bomb.
no, but just generally. So here's my question: did John's promo work for you?
Work for me or convince me?
Did it work? Did it
get me to not like him?
Did it get you not like him? And do you think it was effective storytelling?
I do think it was effective storytelling because it's a long promo, so there's a lot there.
Well, it didn't need to be, though. It was a lot of repetition. He said the same thing a bunch of times. Probably could have been about 6 minutes shorter. And still done the exact same thing.
Still gotten the same points across and everything, because there's also about another minute or so of just chanting.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's my opinion. Because that's what I have, is opinions. I enjoyed it while I was watching it. And the more I've thought about it since, the less I've liked it.
The less it got, the worse it got.
Yeah.
In your mind?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But it worked in the moment, and that should be what matters, right? It's what's happening in the moment. And you know what? It's going to be great. It's got all the moments for the video package. But, and here's the thing I don't like about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's unquestionably, I think you'd agree, the biggest story in the company right now. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Walk me through, quickly. What were the beats of the heel turn? What happened?
Cody said, "Rock, go F yourself." Then Cena was like, and then they dapped up, and then they're like hugging, and then The Rock goes, and then Cena's face goes, and then The Rock goes,
right, yeah,
and then Cena kicks him in the and then Cena proceeds to beat him up. Travis Scott busts his eardrum,
right,
and then
Cena
chokes him out with his own time.
So here's my issue. We listened to John Cena for 20 minutes last night explain why he did what he did. And he didn't explain The Rock. I mean, we were told walking into this that The Rock was setting this up. The Rock wanted somebody's soul. The Rock was the one calling the shots here. So Cody made this turn, and he made it all about him and the fans. And then Cody comes out. And Cody also doesn't mention The Rock.
You know why? Because on the week before WrestleMania, out comes The Rock and says, "You know what? I'm on the board. I am now the referee." And he's the special guest referee for Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. And then the Avengers come out, and The Rock knows he can't disqualify Cody because then Cody keeps the title. Because if he disqualifies Cody, Cody keeps the title. Cena does not get the title.
Fair point.
And the Cody Avengers strike again. Something I heard the other day was, on that Raw that we were actually at, when The Rock was beating up Cody outside.
Outside.
When John Cena's face appeared on the truck. Obviously the speculation was, does that mean Cena and Stone Cold, who was also on that truck, would show up at WrestleMania to help Cody? But now, does that mean we could see Stone Cold at WrestleMania 41 as a heel?
No. No, because
All the heels.
he's not going to be in the long.
Yes.
He's not going to be a long-term story, and you can't do that without telling a long-term story. That doesn't make
All
any
the
sense.
heels. Sure, it does. They brought out John Cena, and that didn't make no sense. I mean, except for him beating up Solo, but that's all that made sense.
Right, but they didn't tell a story with it. They didn't.
Exactly. You don't need to tell a story with Stone Cold being there.
Yes, because he's going to get such a huge pop if he comes in and then he attacks Cody. Then now you've just turned him heel, and you have to explain that. He has to come in and give a promo and explain that. Cody has to be mad at him for it. You've created a story. John Cena coming in and beating up Solo and hoping Cody doesn't. That's not a story. That's what Cody. That's what.
Or Stone
Cena,
Cold could just help Cody. If Stone Cold
Right.
helps Cody, like The Undertaker last year, there were obviously rumors that The Undertaker took.
Yeah. Well, not took.
Stone Cold's spot. Well, Stone Cold couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Right.
The Rock, or not The Rock. The Undertaker. Instead, choke slammed The Rock instead of a stunner.
Yep. All right.
I mean, the match cannot possibly be better than last year. That is the single greatest storytelling match I've ever seen.
I don't know.
Roman loses the title.
I don't know. I'm looking
on a
forward to it.
10-year argument. He hits Seth in the back with the chair, ending that beef, except it did not end that beef.
Right.
They always talk about, we're going to end this beef right now. Nope.
Alright. One little last nugget. Just a piece of general information to give you. And I'll let you do our outro. Take us home. Yesterday was 20 years to the day that John Cena debuted that theme music.
He's not changing music. Is that going to be your question?
No. Just a nugget of information. 20 years with that same song, and it still works.
Kevin's right. Goodbye, everyone.
Like and subscribe.